All right. Well, it's a sunny day here in Minnesota and no more snow, please. I look out of my window and it's almost all gone. My name is Susanna Woods. I'm the Director of Sales at Evolving Solutions. And with me today is Steve Derosier, Principal Consultant here at Evolving Solutions. We thought we would share some insight with you on some of the work we recently did with our clients to support their remote workers. Good morning, Steve. Thanks for joining. Many of our clients have been faced with supporting increasing numbers of remote workers almost overnight. Can you talk a little bit about how we have supported their situations?
Sure. So customers found themselves in a situation where they had disaster recovery. They had an actual disaster. They had to use their disaster recovery systems, which they had the foresight of setting up, but they were vastly undersized. They were intended for maybe 10, maybe 30 users. Now all of a sudden they needed 200, maybe 400. So in one case, it was set up with Nutanix nodes. So with Nutanix, you can quickly expand. What Evolving Solution was able to do for the customer is we were able to source the nodes, set up the logistics, get them shipped, have somebody on the floor to put them in place within just a few days. It was great for the customer because they could expand their capacity very quickly. The second customer that had a situation similar, but they had a traditional three-tiered solution. With a three-tiered solution, it wasn't as easy to just up and expand. So what we did is we decided to leverage Nutanix again because it's a completely hyper-converged solution. We were able to put a new solution in a box on their floor. So once we sourced it, got it to their site, which was quite a distance from us, drove someone down there, which took about 6 hours, and then we were able to deploy the system, move their existing workload onto the new platform, and have them up and going within a week.
Well, really insightful, Steve. And as you talk about these DR systems, you're referring to backup disaster recovery systems for VDI solutions, right?
Yes.
So VDI in general has been used for many years. Can you maybe make a few comments just on VDI, the then and now, and where they are, where these solutions are today, and the value of them?
We've deployed them many times, particularly in healthcare or where they had to leverage offshore workers onshore. So by doing that, they were able to have a secure platform and they were able to have those offshore workers work in the States. Well, now we're all offshore, so they had to send all their workers home, and we needed to come up with new solutions or to expand. Now, as time in the past, a lot of times VDI had overpromised and underdelivered. And a lot of it has been solved now with modern solutions because we have more cores, more memory, faster disks, hyperconverged cloud possibilities. Now the solution is much more in a position where it can make the promises.
Well, very interesting. VDI is going to be around and of value to our clients long past the end of this crisis that we're in right now. And so, what are some of the things that companies should be looking at as they continue to deploy VDI, but also continue to maintain these systems for the long haul?
Well, now they're discovering that they're going to need these workers in these positions for a while. It doesn't seem like it's going to be an overnight thing. And also some of the companies I've spoken with are considering leaving their staff remote rather than bringing them back in the office as a rule. So for this, they have to think about things like security. So we're looking at adding two-factor authentication, more robust controls around access, faster systems, performance, looking at hyperconverged. We're evaluating their configurations and adding more manageability to it because it was just thrown together. Now they quickly have to come up to speed. Another area is monitoring to know what's happening and why, using products such as ControlUp or Liquidware to keep an eye on the system, make sure it's working as it's supposed to. And then now that it was a disaster recovery solution, but now it's the production solution. Now we need to come up with disaster recovery for that solution.
Okay, I mean, key here is we've expanded disaster recovery solutions. We've got to make sure that long term we go back to having a disaster recovery environment for these solutions. And then what I hear you say is look to focus on security, look to focus on performance, and just general robustness of the solution, given that this may be a long-term prospect to have more employees working remotely.